Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing okay, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Have I got a banger for you? I'm going to talk about XRP. I want to reveal some really obvious secrets and repeating patterns that scream to me and tell me what's happening with XRP and how to predict what's going to happen with XRP. So let's go straight into it. One of the most important things about the XRP chart is looking at it on the 2 weekly with the stochastic RSI. Wherever the stochastic RSI bottoms is normally the bottom of the macro price on the 2-week chart. When the blue crosses over the orange, that's bullish, and what happens afterwards is that you get a price high. And here so the stochastic RSI is a momentum indicator, and here you can see the momentum reached the top and the price reached the top, and the momentum is low, the price reached a low, momentum is low, price reached a low, momentum is high, price reached a high, low, high, low, although that was a nasty candle, low, high. And you can do that throughout the entire history of the chart. Low, high, bang on. Let's do it over here. There's a low, there's a low, there's a high, there's a high. That's an RSI high. You can see this is the RSI here, but it's not quite perfect on that one. It's the next candle, but I mean, it's, you know, clearly it's gone low, high. So the 2 weekly is an amazing chart to look at. This here was the 2021 bull market high, that was the 2018 high, and that was the 2013 high. So really that should have been in 2017, but it wasn't. It was in 2018. There you can see it was 2017, it was very high and it went a little bit higher. And here, let's have a look. We've got a momentum low, although it's in the middle of the chart, and then a momentum high, and there is a price high. It did go a little bit higher as the momentum was dying off, but right now we're at a point where the momentum is about to cross on the 2 weekly, and that only means one thing. It means highs. It means highs, 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 etc. Let's put some drawings on. Now I want to show something else about XRP that I find quite obvious. So this cycle, 2013 into 2018, this whole expanse from high to high was 4 years. Now from here to here, if you see, that's 2018, and now we're in 2025. That's so far, that's 8 years without a real new all-time high, blow off the top all-time high. So where is, I understand this bit over here is really messy. This is a little pennant, all of that price action inside of it. This price action here, we've been here since November, so 8 months we've been basically, we created a high and then a slightly higher high, and we've been consolidating. This is 8 months of candles. But where is this? Where do I think we are on the chart? This fuchsia pink pennant here. Well, this fuchsia pink pennant here hasn't really done anything impressive. It's made a slightly higher high, but not much. Has this happened before? Yeah, it has. It happened in the 2017-2018 cycle, and it's a lot of traders and technical analysts and YouTubers think we're here in this pennant, and I don't think we are, because this pennant traded right, like quite a way above the previous all-time high. You can see that the lows were clearly higher and the highs were a lot higher. But I think that we're actually here. On the 2-week chart, it's just 3 candles. The candle up, which went just over previous all-time highs, which is what we have just done. at $3.40 and this is $3.30. We consolidated and then bang, broke up again. So I think that we're actually here because we're trading just above and below. So let's turn this off. We're trading, we went just above and we're trading below. It's perfect. So I believe that we're actually here. We're waiting to make the move to go to here. Now, I was saying that this cycle was 4 years. This cycle has so far been 8 years. So 4, 8, surely the next one is 12. And there's a few different ways that you can do it with maths. So you could either go 4 plus 8 equals 12, or you could go 1 cycle, 2 cycle, 3. And at the moment crypto does run in 4-year cycles, so either way that I look at that pattern, to me it says that the next high for XRP, and I may have previously told you guys 8 years, but I actually believe it's 12. I think it will be 12 years for the next all-time high. And I think that this pattern and we're here now, we're going to do this probably in July and August, and we're probably going to do this by May next year, May time, and you can kind of calculate it oddly. So this consolidation took 210 days, and oddly, and bear in mind we're here on the chart, I believe, and oddly right now we're at 211 days. 211 days of consolidation. Here was the supposed top, even though we did go slightly higher, but the indicators suggest that this was the high. We're currently at 211 days. These triangles potentially consolidate for 200 to 230 days, something like that. We're yet to break out of this fuchsia pennant, but I believe that's what is happening. So if we're going to try and work out that this will top out probably here in between July the 16th and August the 31st, let's draw another 210 days from then. It takes us to March, but my window of opportunity will be March until May. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense right now, and I can't fully explain it, but this cycle was 8 years. We're currently in this pennant now over here, which is massively longer. This pennant here is massively longer than this one, so surely by rights this pennant here should be much bigger, and I think that my window of opportunity, as stated, is going to be Q2. So April to May, June. That's when I think that we'll get this all-time high price. Now let's have a quick look at the last 8 months of price action. I think that the last 8 months of price action, if drawn from here and touching this severe wipeout liquidity candle to the coincidence to touch on this candle and then to the top, I think that, and price hasn't worked outside of it, that is the big macro pennant that has been forming over the last 8 months. Then I think that within the macro pennant we've created 3 pennants. 1, 2, 3. I know this is a really messy chart. I'll try and make it a little bit clearer. So the behavior of the pennants to me is that it tops, it breaks down, it fakes out. This wick here was a fake out. Then it liquidity swipes, not necessarily inside of the consolidation, but it does swipe down after the fake out. And then once the fake out has done and the liquidity swipe is done, and only once the liquidity swipe is done, then the price goes up to the pennant resistance and the next candle breaks out. Let's see if pennant 2 did the same thing. Top, fake out. This was the Trump tweet, by the way. Price broke outside of the pennant, and you can see otherwise price has been more or less inside of the pennant, inside, more or less inside, but that's massively outside. There's a fake out. Here is the liquidity swipe. It broke below the consolidation. There's a touch, you know, that's more or less a touch. So all of the other price action was inside apart from this liquidity swipe. Once the liquidity swipe was done, then we go up and test the pennant as a resistance. We break it here with a full body candle outside of this, and that's what I'm classing as the breakout. And let's see if this pennant has done it. The third pennant, pennant 3, we've topped, we've faked. There's a wick quite clearly outside. That one's not outside. That one's, you know, not really, but this is quite far outside. There's the fake out, there's the liquidity swipe, and now that these two conditions have been met, we'll go up, we'll test the pennant, we'll stay within it, you know, inside of the pennant. The next candle is a full-bodied candle outside of the pennant. Then what happens? Let's see. So once the first full-bodied candle goes outside, it goes into an A resistance, B a back test, C to the neckline, and breaks to the top. Let's see if the same thing happens again. First full-bodied candle outside, up to a resistance, down for a back test, to the neckline, and to a top. So far, the three big pennants have done exactly the same behavior. Top, fake out, liquidity swipe, pennant resistance. And then the smaller bull flag pennants have done A to a resistance, B to a back test, C to the neckline and the top. A to a resistance, B to a back test, C to the neckline, and then to a top. And so far, like, this is beautifully perfect. We've got a full-bodied candle outside. We've gone up and hit a resistance. There's the resistance there. And now it's come down and back test. I don't think that this is the end of the back test. And the reason for that, I think move B is still waiting to play out. I'm not sure where price is going to go to. It could go to this magic trend line that I've drawn on. We've got a confluence point here. It could equally go to the support of the pennant. It could go lower. It could go to this pink fuchsia trend line and scare the crap out of everybody at 196, or even possibly even lower. It could do sub 190 in the 180s. I don't think it breaks this line though. We've only got one place where it touched truly on the chart, but I don't think it breaks this fuchsia pennant support. I think it could scare everybody though, this B move, and like I say, I don't know where it's going, but I think it could scare everybody. It's going to be wild. If we zoom into the chart as well, this is crazy. So up here we've hit the resistance and we've been moving down this trend line. If we put the moving averages on, oh, it's this candle here that happened literally an hour ago, between 8 and 9 p.m. British summertime. That perfect wick. Look, I mean, I couldn't have drawn that pennant, that big yellow pennant for pennant number 3. I couldn't have drawn it any better. Like, it's bounced straight off of it. You can't make it up. And the price is still bearish, if you ask me. We've had a cross to the upside, and now we're having a cross to the downside. The fast moving average is below the slow moving average, and price is below the slow moving average. So I think that the price will get beaten down a little bit, and if you can see here, we can't get over this trend line. This is the monthly close trend line. At the moment we're beneath it. I don't think it stays like that indefinitely, but we are beneath the monthly close trend line, and on the 4 hour the moving averages are pointing to the negative, although it's gentle. On the 1 hour it's quite aggressively coming down and still coming down. On the daily though, we've got a bullish cross, which is indicative of bullish momentum, but only if price continues going up. If price continues to come down, these will flip and it will go bearish, and I think that that's what's probably going to happen. And with this backtest move, if patterns repeat, it has to play out. So I'm banking on it playing out, and then I'm banking on it going to the neckline, breaking it, and going to $2.69 to $3.12. And I can probably guess the date today. The date will be Sunday the 13th of July to Monday the 14th of July. How? Each of these little bull flag micro pennants, you can see how long they took from the first full-bodied candle that broke outside of the pennant to the top was 14 days. The next one was exactly 15 days. First full-bodied candle that's outside of the pennant to the top is 15 days. So this is the first full-bodied candle outside of the yellow pennant. From here, from there to 15 days will be Monday, 14 days will be Sunday. And I would imagine that this resistance here will be as high as it goes for the now. And I would imagine, and I'm guessing, like it's a pure guess, I think that once we break outside of this fuchsia pennant, this 8-month fuchsia pennant, and it's highly likely that this is the resistance. It could be this price here too, but let's just say $3.12 is the resistance. I think that it's going to basically play out the same move, which is it's broken out of the pennant, which will be this move here, to the A resistance. It's going to come and backtest the pennant. I don't know where the price will go to, but I would guess it will go to the monthly moving average, this one here. Then it's going to go back up to the neckline, and then it's going to break. And people are saying that it's sort of $9 to $27. I've only got $9 to $20 on my chart, but $9 to $27. And the date in which it's going to do it, and it won't be before and it shouldn't be after, it will be between the 16th of July and the 31st of August. That's your time frame for $9 to $27 XRP, and that will be the second move completed, meaning that there's going to be a lot more consolidation. It could be 9 months, it could consolidate until Christmas or January, and or even longer. Could consolidate, it could do this move here, it might take until March, and then it will do one final leg, which could happen in Q2 of 2026, based on things that previously happened. So you can see that 210 days consolidation after this, from the end of August, takes us to the to the end of March 2026, and from there it could consolidate more, but I'm going to say Q2. I think Q2 is the third wave, and honestly I have no idea what the price is going to be Pardon me, I've got no idea. I think it's going to be mind-blowing though. And it could be, if we do 9 to sort of $27, then $100 XRP on that third wave by Q2 next year is entirely plausible and possible.